Saturday, March the 12th, 2022. Today is an important day. My friend Sylvia's birthday, right off the top. If you happen to see this, happy birthday to an inspiring woman, a great friend, and someone that I'm very blessed to know. Thank you for all you do, Sylvia. Happy birthday. Who also, she shares a birthday with a hero of hers, Jack Kerouac, and she's doing a lot of really cool things for Jack Kerouac's birthday because she manages the estate as far as social media is concerned and doing these great brand deals. And to be honest, I don't really know what she does, but I know that she is carefully curating Jack Kerouac's legacy, and today's Jack Kerouac's 100th birthday. And up in Lowell, Massachusetts, there's a lot of centennial celebrations going on all through the month of March, and then also the Town and the City Festival, which is named for Jack Kerouac. That happens in the first weekend of April 8th and 9th. So if you're a fan of the beats, Jack Kerouac, Google Jack Kerouac 100, Kerouac celebrations, Kerouac Estate on socials. Please go check that out. Extremely proud of everything Sylvia's doing for Jack, and it's a special day that they share birthdays. Very cool. And today is also an anniversary of 2 years ago when we entered this pandemic sort of officially. The line was drawn in the sand March 12th. That's when things got really different for everyone. And on this special podcast and video version of I Think This Is Great with claynferno, claynferno.substack.com. Gonna start off 2 years into the pandemic. March 12th, 2022. Saturday Shorts. How's your panty? 2 years. How's your panty? I didn't say panty, you perverts. Panny. Panny. I stole this from my friend's Instagram account when they were just getting back into working on concerts again in 2021. I spent a lot of time thinking about time. And if you go to the linked post on here, I first got to Substack, and one of the first things I wrote was how I envision the week. I envision the week, the days of the week, not really as a calendar, but almost a calendar, a visual mind map in my mind of a circle. And the circle sort of starts at about 8 o'clock, and that's Monday. And then it kind of spins around, and that around 5 o'clock, that's sort of the weekend. That's where Saturday and Sunday starts. And I've got the main parts of the week taking up most of it in the circle. Anyways, I explain all of this on my Time as a Circle, but it's not flat, about how I go through routines, especially in the pandemic, and how I've always visualized the time of the day and the time of the week and how the calendar stretches out. And I quote True Detective, and it goes into a little bit of my own personal mind map. So please go check that out. I spend a lot of time thinking about death, especially since the death of my mother in 2016. Those that follow me know that I'm obsessed with this one record that came out in 2019, Tim Heidecker and Weyes Blood's Fear of Death. And I've linked this on Bandcamp below so that you can all stream it for free. I've also linked to the photo gallery of when I was blessed to see Fear of Death live in California. I took a vacation in the pandemic by myself out to a music festival all the way to California to see one band play, and it was great. I loved it because I knew it would be a once in a lifetime opportunity to see the band. They're probably not going to play this record anymore in this capacity, front to back. It was great. They did Beatle covers, and I was just on vacation on my own, and after being cooped up for a while here, it was just a lot of time. So I was proud of myself for going on this vacation, and I've documented that media on the Substack. Now we're going to get a little serious. We near 1 million COVID deaths in the U.S. Now that is an unfathomable number. The number is about 966,000. And unfortunately, we will get there to that 1 million. SIRI, how do I know if I have this? Thanatophobia. Not exactly sure I said that right, but I'll try it again. Thanatophobia. Thanatophobia is commonly referred to as the fear of death. More specifically, it can be the fear of death or a fear of the dying process. It's natural for someone to worry about their health as they age. I'm 46. It's also common for someone to worry about their friends and family after they're gone, of course. However, in some people, these concerns can develop into more problematic worries and fears. The American Psychiatric Association doesn't officially recognize thanatophobia as a disorder. Instead, the anxiety someone may face because of this fear is often attributed to general anxiety. Great. Signs and symptoms of thanatophobia include anxiety, dread, distress. Treatment focuses on learning to refocus your fears, talking about your feelings or your concerns. You've got to face your fears. You got to face your fears. Here and I link to the famous Andrew Dice Clay, Bobby Cannavale, seen in the HBO show Vinyl. Face your fears. So you, dear listener, dear reader, I want to know, how are you coping on this 2-year pandemic anniversary? Are you missing someone? Are you finding more joy these days? Are you going out to shows? When I was riding Uber Eats on my bike in 2020 for extra money, I was riding along the river and I was paying attention, but I was a little distracted and I crashed into a pole. I was going half a mile an hour. I didn't really crash into the pole, but I was kind of got distracted. I was listening to an artist I'd heard of and had been following. His name is Oliver Tree. I saw Oliver Tree last night at the House of Blues in Boston. It was a sold-out show. He said on stage that it was the quickest show to sell out of the entire tour, and that he went from playing small rooms in Boston to selling out the House of Blues in one day. So, way to go, Oliver. I get to wear my cowboy hat last night and my new jacket. He has a cowboy thing going on too. You can link to the socials. Check out some of the videos and reels on my Instagram. Most people last night at the sold out House of Blues show were not wearing masks. Moving on. Here is my short but succinct review of The Batman. I loved it. And it was too long. I haven't done a deep dive into all the Easter eggs and all the things one would expect for me, a huge Batman fan and a comic book podcaster, to talk about the Batman, I think I need to give it a little bit of space. I haven't seen it with Stacy yet. It gives me goosebumps. I loved it. I thought it was great. It was fun. Way too long. I don't have the patience to take it apart from a pop culture reviewer standpoint, except to say that it's too long of a movie. I don't know how you make it shorter. I just know that it's too long. So I was looking around for this Joe Strummer of the Clash quote about being on stage and checking your instruments and tuning. And it's something about, come on, man, these people, meaning the audience, they have things to do. And I couldn't find that quote. So if you know this quote that I'm referring to, please send it to me, because I've been trying to find it and it's not easy to find. I did, however, find this other interesting quote from a favorite hero of mine, Joe Strummer, who I feel like has a lot of similarities with Jack Kerouac. I don't have any other message than don't forget that you're alive. Joe Strummer. I'll read that again. I don't have any other message than don't forget that you are alive. And I hear a lot of musicians on stage say something like this, especially this late into the pandemic. People talk about loss. People talk about how they wish they had told someone they loved them. I was actually on a bus trip back from New York City once. And as they were pulling in to South Station, the bus driver gave this long speech about how if you have some grudge, bury the hatchet, move on with your life, tell people you love them, because you never know when they're gonna go. And Oliver Tree said something similar to that last night on stage, because he wrote a song for his friend that's no longer with us, and he said, don't forget to tell your friends and family that you love them. It's something I try to do as much as possible. I'm going to read the Joe Strummer quote again, just because I find it to be so powerful and useful. I don't have any other message than don't forget you are alive. Now, back to the original Joe Strummer quote I was thinking of the other day. It really came into my mind because I went to see an up-and-coming band the other day. I'm not going to talk about the band or the venue. I'm not going to tell you who it was or anything about it. It's not fair to them. I'm not here to trash the band. But I went to see this band, and it was simply not for me. There's a certain kind of music that just, I don't know if it's a certain kind, it's probably many different kinds, that I sort of see where people might like it, but it is definitely not for me. When I was a kid, Strawberry Shortcake was not for me, but G.I. Joe was for me. So I love G.I. Joe. I don't know how to explain it other than that. It's just simply not for me. I don't know. I need my bands to rock and roll, and I need my country music to make me sad. I need my hip hop and pop music to make me move. And what I'm trying to put my finger on is that bands that are middle of the road, they don't really appeal to me. So I feel like there's a band that a lot of people were really into, and that's fine. I'm so happy for them. But just not for me because it's a little middle of the road and probably not as pop as I expected. Anyways, the ironic thing about this is that I do have access to getting on the guest list for some things, but I bought tickets for the show, so maybe that's why I feel this thorn stuck in my side that I did not really enjoy myself because I bought tickets to the show. Anyways, as Joe Strummer said, maybe, because I don't know where this quote is, maybe he said, "We the people have things to do." This is where I'm going to force you to go look at my Substack once again for the soundtrack to this episode of my life. These are some things I've been listening to. I'll list the songs in case you want to just tell your device to play them. Charlie Crockett, Welcome to Hard Times. Cowpoke, Culture Wall. Another Charlie Crockett song, Muddy Water. And then I've linked to the video for Oliver Tree, Cowboys Don't Cry. Great, great song he played. Off his latest record. He's got a new record coming out. And then I've linked below, as promised, to Fear of Death by Tim Heidecker. This post is open to everyone to comment, but please leave a comment anytime you want, or reply to my tweet about this episode, or if you see this on YouTube or Twitch, please leave a message for me there and I will be sure to respond. Thank you for listening to Saturday Shorts, a special edition, season 2 of I Think This Is Great. Eventually season 3 will come out, or maybe it won't. Maybe I'll just perpetually do special editions for season 2. Signing off. Claynferno, March 12th, 2022.